relationships is what we live in this world of duality and being humans and informed. That's what the Course tells us. So mainly all of our relationships are special relationships. Now, with my experience, it is possible for you to experience that holiness and that holy relationship in your life. Like, you're able to begin to wake up. As you start to do the Course, I highly suggest the workbook lessons, because the workbook lessons helps you to understand more of your true nature and your true self. And when you know your true self and your true nature more, then you show up in your life in a way that is different, and you're able to see your relationships differently. And then you're able to come back to that holy vision. Now, it doesn't mean that if you do the workbook lessons, you're going to be healed and saved and it's going to go away immediately. Although I feel that the workbook lessons, when they're done, it opens up a little door in your mind of where you get to show up and see the world from the lens, in a different lens. And it's less victimization, less judgment. Sometimes you need to do the lessons a couple of times, or maybe you need to just open the book and read a lesson or read the workbook, right? So what helps within it is to begin to undo the special relationship. There needs to be in place this dance and this awakening to the mind of God, and to really understand who you are in truth. And that is a journey. That is in itself a journey. So I have experienced, I feel, the holy relationship within my relationship now. And I've also had another marriage in 2009. I mean, I got married before 2009, but it ended in divorce in 2009. And also, I have noticed that in my relationship, I am less victimized. I feel like I am more confident, not confident, egoic confident, but more confident in, I don't need this person to complete me. I feel safe in the relationship, not safe that he makes me safe, but I feel safe. And for those that know me and reading Live Your Happy and knowing my past with relationships, this is a lot of progress. But I feel that I've been able to see this holiness in my relationship and cultivate this holy relationship within the relationship I have now. Not that it doesn't have specialness, because sometimes I do forget who I am, but there's certain instances that I feel that holiness, and that means that I've either left them off the hook, or I've let him off the hook, or I've realized that he's not my problem. When I realize that my partner is not my problem, I'm so free. I have received the holy instant, and I'm living a holy relationship, because I'm not in it, the relationship to be complete. I am not in the relationship to be validated at that moment. Okay. And the only moment that matters is not having a holy relationship 24/7 or every day. It's to really have the holy relationship this moment. And then this one. And then this one. And then that one. Right? So it's like every single second within the second is that commitment to remember or to fall asleep. And that's what we call the separation. So we can either remember or we can go to sleep. So the holy relationship, on the other hand, is a relationship in which is based on the principles of forgiveness, love, and unity. It is a relationship where two individuals come together with the intention of healing and awakening spiritually. Okay. This can also be the relationship with yourself. Okay. On top of, well, that's the most important relationship. But I'm saying, if you're not in a relationship, you can use this with your relationship with yourself, or you can also use it with relationships of anyone around you, your mother, your brother, your sister, anybody. In a holy relationship, the focus shifts from personal needs and desires to shared purpose and spiritual growth. The goal of a holy relationship is to recognize the inherent worth and wholeness of each individual, and to support each other in remembering their true nature as spiritual beings. It involves practicing forgiveness, extending love unconditionally, and seeing beyond the illusions of the ego. Okay. So that is the holy relationship. And I feel that chapter 17 talks about it in more length, like especially giving the relationship to Holy Spirit is very important. But it says here in the healed relationship on chapter 17, it says, the holy relationship is a major step towards a perception of the real world. Toward the perception of the real world is learned. It is the old unholy relationship transformed and seen anew. The holy relationship is a phenomenal teaching and accomplishment. It, in all of its aspects, as it begins, develops, and becomes accomplished, it represents the reversal of the unholy relationship. Be comforted in this. The only difficult phase is the beginning, for here the goal of the relationship is abruptly shifted to the exact opposite of what it was. This is the first result of offering the relationship to the Holy Spirit to use for its purposes. I won't be getting into that part today, but I do want to zero in on the goal of having that goal of having holy relationships in your life. And you are worthy, and you can experience more holy relationships, and that can be your goal. That can be the goal. And that goal is always going to bring you back to yourself, because everything begins and ends with you. And the more that we get that, the more understanding of this vortex of reality and the judgments and separation we make is we understand it more, and we give it up. We give up that way of being more and more. Today I was walking on my walk with Christian, and he had asked me a question yesterday. This is my husband's Christian. He asked me a question yesterday about what are my goals, or what excites me, what are my desires, or something in the world, an effect of the worldly world, and what I want to do and where I'm going. And I get that question because I understand his healing and what's going on in his life, and what seems to be important with him and his journey. And I respect that. And I was receiving that question, and all I can say is not any goals, or I couldn't say I want, this to happen or that to happen. I did say that I want to continue doing what I'm doing because I love what I do, and having the impact that I appear to have in my own life, and what I share, the impact it's having on my community. And of course I would want to see that grow. But today, as I was walking, I said, that question you asked me yesterday about my goal and where am I headed and all these things, I want you to know that what it is, it's this. And he said, what do you mean? I go, this right now, like this presence. What it is my goal is to have self-actualization, to awaken more to my true nature, for Spirit to show me what love is, like what real love is in our relationship and my relationship with my son. That's my goal. Like, my goal is to understand more and more of what's really real here. And my goal is every single moment to remember what is really true. Like, that really psychs me. It makes me excited. It gets me, it's like having a real goal that's really meaningful and that means something to me. Now, in the worldly sense, would that goal bring me money? Would that goal, make me successful? I have no idea, because that's where kind of the question was coming from him. But I said, you can't put a price on that. Like, that's what I would love to understand more of. And I feel making that declaration, I've made this declaration before, that this is really what I'm up to and this is what I want. I have noticed that little by little, I am seeing that awakening happen, especially with the way I see my husband. Like, I could really see the dynamics of that holy instant. I could see the dynamics of letting go of my victimization. I can really experience it. And it's something out of this world that I can't even put into words. Okay. So if any of you can relate to this, or can relate to your goal being love, your goal being, I want to know what's the truth, or more of my true nature, or more of my true nature in relationships, say it on the chat. Like, this is my goal. My goal is to, I always say, my biggest prayer is, Holy Spirit, show me what real love is. Like, real love, like the love of God. Like, I'm so open to that love, right? So let's go ahead and talk about the 6, I'm going to give you 6 steps on understanding more the holy relationship, and also how to incorporate it more in your life. Or even, if you can have like a little smidgen of something that any of these steps can help you to open your mind to the holy relationship, and to have an understanding that you can have holy relationships, and that even if you don't see the holy relationship at 100%, that your relationships nevertheless will be more peaceful, will be